Sanam. I'm really um, excited and passionate about the topic that I want to begin to talk about. And that is black people, black culture, and honoring all ethnic groups and treading this topic with respect, acknowledging that I don't know anything, while also acknowledging what has happened in history. And so I've been saying for about 2 years that, you know, every month should be Black History Month. And I wanted to do a YouTube video at least once a month, but more, showing that every month is Black History Month. And as a white person, my thing is that I grew up with all blacks and Mexicans. My school was in South Dallas, Duncanville, 40% black, 40% Mexican, 8% white, or like something like that. Maybe less. Oh no, yeah, it was like 8 or 11% white and then 8 or 11% like Asian. And so I always grew up the minority. In addition, I'm adopted, and I know my biological mom, and I know that side of the family, and they're from Mexico, but their origin is European. But they're from Mexico, and I was adopted, by my aunt. So they're my aunt and my biological mom and my grandma. Their first languages were Spanish, but they look white. And a month after my aunt adopted me, she passed away. She died. So lost my second mom, and then about a year into my life, my dad, remarried to another lady who was Mexican, is Mexican. And she has 2 sons that are full-blood Mexican, and those are my brothers. But I always look white, and I always felt Mexican. But I couldn't claim it because, I always wanted to hang out with the Mexican kids. I always felt like I was brown. That's where my family's from. But I look white. And I got a little bit of, you can tell I'm not just like full-on white, but I'm mainly white, Let me close this door. So, my school that I grew up with, I didn't know, what white privilege was. I didn't understand it. On top of that, I wanted to join band and tennis. I don't know if it was subconscious or not, but that's where all the white people were. And my dad didn't let me join tennis. He made me join the football team. My dad didn't want to pay for an instrument. It was going to be loud. They didn't want an instrument in the house. So I didn't join band. So I was on a predominantly black and brown football team. And I was not in band. I was like with them. Who else is there to hang out with? All the white kids were in band. And so, I was friends with the Mexicans and friends with the black people. But it was hard because I always felt unwelcome by both on some degree, you know, until I found myself more. But it was just, it's an honor to grow up white, but to be a minority in where I grew up. But I was ignorant. I didn't understand white privilege. I didn't understand white supremacy. And I didn't understand anything. I was ignorant. And then when I moved to Dallas, like downtown Dallas, I started noticing, I learned what the term bigot was. Started learning a lot, started noticing I was being, whether, not that I was being treated differently, but I noticed how blacks were treated differently. I felt like I was being treated the same as I always was, but I started noticing black people being treated differently. And that was eye-opening to me and hard for me to deal with. The black and brown people, those are my family. That's my hood. That's where I grew up. And it's hard. It's not hard, but it's like, what can I do as a white man? And so what I can do, I don't know what to do. But I'm here to serve my people. And my people are one, it's all humanity. But I'm here to serve the black and brown community because that's the community that I grew up in. And I'm passionate about it. And one of my favorite sayings is, you can't steer a parked car. I don't know what to say, but I know what I feel. And that is to be of service. And if I can use this skin color to be of service, to educate, then I'm going to do it. And I come to the black community, to the brown community, to the minorities. I come with open arms and a hug. I come ready to serve. And I come ready to face the shit that hasn't been confronted with the majority of the population. And I can't steer a parked car. I wish I had something to say more, but I don't. It's just like, I'm gonna just like start it. This is gonna be a part of my content creation. And really, I think it's more about giving, I'm in a part of restorative justice in Boulder County. And restorative justice is a part of my path because I think the justice system is messed up, especially toward black folk, especially toward minorities. I'm really passionate about the justice system. But restorative justice is really, really beautiful. And it's offering a new way of justice. And I want to talk about that more. But I think that that's the key. Restorative justice is just giving space for different sides of the story to be heard. Giving space for repair and healing, and also holding a space that is full of respect toward the other person. And so, when it comes, I just want to come with respect and hold that space. If you are Black and you want to be heard, I want to have my YouTube channel like be a vessel for you as a minority, Black, brown, even if you're white and you want to talk about this, I want to just give space to be heard. And I don't come with answers. I don't come with solutions. Like, I don't know what to do, but I come with a willingness. And it's cool because, out of all the videos I've done, this is probably what I'm most passionate about. Today I was watching a podcast. It's called Wild Black. And they talk about, it's a very opinionated podcast about what it's like to be Black. And as a white person, it's beautiful to hear because it gives you, well, one, it's like it's my people's. It's the perspective that I grew up on. So it kind of feels like home to me because what they talk about on this podcast and how they talk is like how I grew up. And it's also beautiful because sometimes I feel resistance, the way that they talk about white people on this podcast. And I have to, I can't take things offensively, but they talk about white people very opinionated, and it's beautiful. And it's beautiful for me to hold space and to not judge their views because their views on this podcast are worth hearing and have value. And I just listened to the one with David Banner. He was on it, and it was just like, man, I haven't even really processed my emotions with it yet. But it was beautiful to hear, and it's something I'm like, I want to keep listening to. So, this is a message to the world. It's my statement. It's me declaring that I'm ready to play my part, to do what I can. Another thing is, I live in Boulder County now, and I come from Dallas. Man, I miss Black people. I miss like my culture. I miss my family, and I can't wait to go back to it. At least maybe going to Denver, because it's like home, and I am in White Town, America. Boulder has got to be one of the whitest towns I've ever experienced. I mean, and it's crazy. It's a bubble. And I don't really have anything to say about that. I think Boulder is amazing. I found my tribe up here. You know what I'm saying? I found people who accepted me for who I am. I found my fam, and it was a space that has allowed me to blossom more into who I am because there's an overall acceptance here that is rare. In other places, it feels like a different country sometimes. But I'm also speaking as a white person. As a Black person, it might feel really segregated, and I don't know what it's like. I can only imagine, but I don't want to assume. So maybe that's something I could do on my podcast. Just have Black people that live in Boulder talk about what it's like to be Black in Boulder. I don't know. But yeah, just expressing where I'm at. Expressing myself in declaring that I'm here to serve all humanity. I'm here to serve black, brown, and white people, and all the colors in between. I'm here to serve the galactic peoples. I believe we are one. We are one family. At the same time, the segregation and the disgraceful acts that we've done to our family, that our races have done to each other, need to be addressed. Black Lives Matter. You know, saying all lives matter to Black Lives Matter is like protesting a protest. Yeah, okay, all lives matter. But what really needs to be addressed is Black Lives Matter. You know, and giving the stage for Black Lives to Matter. And it's the same thing with LGBTQ. You know, I'm queer and questioning. You know, it's like I'm really attracted to women. At the same time, I've experimented and I've explored. Like, I'm definitely have aspects of me that are queer and questioning. And so as I enter LGBTQ communities, you know, there's an aspect of it that feels like segregation. It feels like, you know, like if you're straight into these LGBTQ, it feels like you're not welcome almost. And it's the same thing. It's like, look, yeah, it don't matter about your sexuality, but right now, gay people and queer and questioning and trans people, they need the stage because they've been suppressed. You know? And so that's just something that I've been doing, is getting out the way and being like, yo, here is the stage. Here, I want you to be heard because your opinions matter. Anyways, comment, let me know, give me ideas. I would love to hear, you know, how this progresses. This is like what I'm passionate about, and I have not done a video that I have felt this passionate about. So, Waheguru, let me know, and blessings and peace to all beings of the universe. So now.